have Microsoft Master Trainer Sakina and Cody with Qualcomm, and they're here to share what I think is the biggest or one of the biggest breakthroughs in computing, at least in a very, very long time. We do have a jam-packed session with so many knowledge bombs ahead of us. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to the team so they can kick off an introduction to all of us on Copilot Plus PCs. Go ahead, take it away, Sakina.
Thanks, Dallas. Welcome, everyone. I'm really excited to have you all here today. My name is Sakina Syed, and I'm a Microsoft Commercial Master Trainer. And today we have a lot in store for you. And we're excited to introduce a new era in AI with our new Copilot Plus PCs. And we're going to talk about how these can revolutionize the way you work forever. We know that ever since Microsoft Copilot came out last year, it's changed the way we work forever. And it has allowed us to become more productive, but we're only going to go further now in terms of how much more productive we can be with the introduction of these new PCs. And the way we work is going to change forever. So, without further ado, I'm going to go off camera because I want to also be able to see your questions in the chat while I'm speaking. So, at any time, feel free to ask your questions. I'll be here along with my team to answer them, and we're going to get started. So, first off, let's just quickly discuss that it's no secret that AI is shaping the future of business and the way we work as we know it. Currently, over 75% of CEOs believe that organizations that leverage AI do have a better chance of winning and moving forward and staying competitive in the market. Along with that, most companies are prioritizing AI advancements all over other digital investments, according to an Accenture study that we conducted. And over 100% of the respondents in our audience in research have agreed that they could use the help of AI to leverage getting things done much faster than they currently are. And a lot of times workers are experiencing burnout, so AI can significantly improve the way they work and reshape that as well. So, we have been speaking about how Copilot can help with this, but now when it comes to Copilot plus PC, this is going to really change the way we work. So, one of the biggest concerns that we have when it comes to AI currently is data security. And as organizations are engaging more with cloud-based AI technology, they do have the risk of running and compromising their data integrity in the race to stay ahead. Especially if you think about the use case of if an employee in an organization is trying to use AI, but from an external source that is not within the organization's tenant, you can imagine how many problems this can cause, right? So, when it comes to Copilot plus PC, we have a solution that can mitigate this. So, before we even talk about Copilot plus PC further, I have a video for all of you here. And I just want to make sure I have my system sound working, which it is. So, just let me know if you can't hear it for any reason and we can replay the video. But here we are.
Please hold while I try to.
All right, that was the first look at our computers. What is everyone's thoughts on this? I know it's super exciting to have this as the next computer that we're going to be using. So, I'm going to be speaking about the world's fastest and most intelligent computer ever launched. The Copilot Plus PC is a revolutionary way of working, and it's a new class of secure AI PCs. And these are, compared to the current PCs we're using, they're much, much faster. So they are the world's most fastest and most intelligent computer ever invented. Let's talk about the stats for this and the way it works. So with Copilot Plus PC, we are introducing the world's most performant PCs in their class, but these computers deliver lightning fast speed with smooth performance and all-day battery life. It also integrates with having offline AI assistance thanks to something that's called the NPU. So offline AI assistance is combined with Windows security, and this also makes it our most secure Windows computer ever before because it has your privacy in mind. And the thing I do want to focus and highlight today is talking about the NPU, which is also known as a neural processing unit chipset. So with Copilot Plus PCs, these do feature this turbocharged NPU, and this plays a massive part in what makes these claims possible for the fast speed that we're talking about. And its biggest impact is really realized when we're talking about AI performance and capabilities. So this chip is specifically designed to run AI-related tasks directly on your device. It integrates with the CPU and the GPU, and you might have heard of these terms before, of course. With the central processing unit, the speed of this was measured in gigahertz, but with the NPU, this is actually measured in something called TOPS, or otherwise known as trillions of operations per second. So the Copilot Plus PC actually offers a very unique architecture at its fundamental level. And how this works is because it has the CPU and GPU by default, but plus it's paired with the NPU as well for the neural processing, it takes it to an additional level in terms of speed and performance. And this chipset is actually designed specifically just for deep learning and AI. What it means is it's optimized for complex mathematical calculations, data processes, also tasks for image recognition. So whatever type of use case you're using your device for, whether it's video editing or allowing it to take better notes within Teams, it can do all of this plus more. And it allows you to leverage your AI functionality at a much faster speed. So if you were traditionally using Copilot in your web browser in Bing, and if it would take 1 minute for the prompt to come back to you, if you're using the same prompt in Copilot PCs, what happens is once you prompt Copilot from your computer, the prompt response will come back to you within seconds. So it's a lot more instantaneous to allow you to have that AI in real time. So overall, this does drive better performance and efficiency. And again, the trillions of operations per second is now the new measure of how these units are calculated. So you're going to be hearing this number a lot, and it's going to be synonymous with the speed for these NPUs. So what does that mean? It means that you're going to have a device that's future-proofed and running AI applications and tasks for several years to come. So with this, we've actually partnered and teamed up with Qualcomm, who we do have featured on this call, and we're going to be allowing them to speak later on in this session. But Microsoft has teamed up with Qualcomm to create these revolutionary chips. And how they work is Qualcomm has tested these chips for over 4 years and created this roadmap before its launch. And not only that, its speed is unparalleled to anything else we've ever seen. So with that, we're going to leave that to Qualcomm later on, but I'm going to move forward. Were there any questions on this before I actually show how the NPU works? Okay, we'll move forward. So we're going to do a quick visual demonstration to compare all the NPU paired up against a CPU and GPU. And if you recall, a GPU just means a graphics processing unit, and it's really useful in video editing. But now, when it comes to NPUs, they're going to be a lot faster in the way we can do our tasks on our computer. So this is a live demonstration. Here we had a AI tool testing facial recognition, for example, and we paired this and compared how the NPU functions against this test versus the GPU and CPU. So the engineering department at Microsoft, they wrote a program to identify these individual people in this video feed. And then this program is running a lot faster on the NPU, as you can see. Similarly, on the GPU and CPU, it is working, but already these fans are getting clocked out, which means that they're a lot slower and they're heating up And well, the NPU is not even, it's blazing fast and it's not even having any issues at all. So this does offer a realistic, real-time explanation of how the difference between the NPU, CPU, and GPU looks like, and how fast these NPUs allow our computers to be overall when we have them in our computers. All right, so with that, we have talked about speeds and feeds, but all of this would have no point if it didn't give us good experiences on our devices. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and talk about how Copilot Plus PC will amplify our device performance with its built-in AI capabilities, and how these will actually leverage our NPUs to transform our business performance as well. So, what if you can actually go ahead and turbocharge the way you work for your team and allow them to enable to harness the power of built-in AI to work really fast, not have to do mundane tasks as slowly, and eliminate those altogether if possible. And you can also focus on your high-value work. So, having AI run securely on your device from these NPUs does allow you to do this a lot faster. So, with Copilot Plus PC, you can do that. And you don't have to run AI on the cloud. You can run it locally on your device instantaneously and get answers in real time. So, the Copilot Plus PC does bring advanced Copilot experiences to elevate your search, productivity, creativity, and communication. And these are going to be talked about later on too, in terms of how we can enhance each of these. You can also use AI in Teams now to take meeting notes, just as one example. But when it's built straight onto your laptop, it's a lot more faster too in the way it works and functions. And not only that, these Copilot Plus PCs integrate with the way you work all across your Microsoft 365 apps. So if you're using Copilot Plus PC to leverage Copilot in M365, for example, well, of course, you do have to use the cloud when you're using Microsoft 365, but Copilot Plus PC chips will allow you to do this much faster than normal. So for example, I can ask for help to build a presentation in PowerPoint, and within seconds, I can have a deck that's spun up with the description I gave, which is amazing. So I can do more in less time with this. The other thing is, with blistering fast performance, the benefit and value that Copilot PCs bring is that it enhances the way we do everything in terms of speed. And for example, let's say we're talking about searching to making content, to also doing image processing, or even video calls. So exclusive to Copilot Plus PCs, we have a few functions. So first of all, the NPUs are exclusive to Copilot Plus PCs. So you can do this lightning fast workload, and this is only found on those. The other thing that Copilot Plus PCs allow you to do is it allows you to maximize your efficiency wherever you go. So you get better battery life, which I could really use because if I have to work from an airport and I have to use my laptop on one single charge, I can use it for up to 20 hours with the chip that's built into Copilot Plus PC because it's designed for battery optimization and efficiency while also being able to leverage the power of AI. And the speed and flexibility of Copilot Plus PCs will allow you to do your real world tasks a lot faster, about 59% compared to your previous devices that are now currently, for example, over 3 years old. And we're going to talk more about the recall feature, but um, it's already been, in terms of in a nutshell of how I would describe Microsoft Recall. So Copilot Plus PCs can look at whatever you're doing on your computer and then give you contextual recommendations. So let's say you were looking at an email and then you had to write a document based on that email summary, then Copilot can actually help you leverage that if you were to prompt it as such, for one example. And we're going to revisit Recall in a bit. I think I saw Genevieve's comment right now. She just came back from traveling, so yep, she can totally vouch for the fact that having better battery life is amazing. So, with Copilot Plus PC, I just wanted to mention that you can also see your mission critical business apps run better than ever. So we're actually the fastest PC in the world, and how we compete with our main competitor is it's 25% faster than the MacBook Air, for example, the M3 processor. And this faster performance actually uses less energy, so it does give you that 20-hour plus battery life with no lag to allow you to work at top speed. This is great for example, whether you're a knowledge worker or a content creator. Can you imagine having 20 hours of battery life and being able to use AI all day throughout? It does allow you to have more effective meetings as well with less lag. So we're having faster speeds and better processing in terms of hardware, but what that allows you to do is as a result of that, who hasn't had a meeting where they were having an issue with their camera lagging behind or they're coming out a bit blurry? So with the AI enhancements and capabilities that Copilot allows you to bring to the table, now you can actually have an enhanced virtual presence. So it does so by all of these ways. First of all, you can do automatic brightening against your background. So even if you're in a dimly lit space, let's say you're working in a different time zone and you're on a meeting and you're working from a dark hotel room, it allows you to automatically look like you're in a daylight setting, which is amazing. It also allows you to have focus on yourself no matter where you're moving around, and also maintain eye contact while the meeting is going on. We also have tested the background noise features enhanced with Microsoft Copilot Plus PCs. And what happens is we've actually gone ahead and taken a leaf blower behind someone when they were in a meeting, and then that did not come through in the Teams meeting. But this actually does apply and extend to other third-party applications. So whether you're doing your meetings from Zoom or Teams, this will work, basically, that feature. And now more than ever before, we are working in a hybrid setting. So it's important for us to be able to look good in our video calls. The last thing you want to have is those unnecessary distractions, whether it's your dog barking in the background or someone washing dishes. So that noise suppression is unlike ever before. The other thing is that Copilot remembers things contextually. So for example, right now, I'll actually come on camera to demo this real quick. Let's say if I'm showing off my phone in Teams, it's pretty good at blurring it when it's right in front of me. But right now I'm not using a Copilot Plus PC myself. I've ordered one already and it's on the way. But if I was to hold up my phone here, it doesn't capture it. But with the Copilot Plus PC's filters, it is intelligent and it would be able to keep my phone in view no matter where I'm holding it, for example, which I'm very excited about because there's been so many instances where I'm trying to show off my cat's pictures to my coworkers, and for any reason, right now it's not being recognized. So that's one example. But the other thing that we have allowed in our Copilot Plus PCs is that we have ensured that everyone is heard. So right now I speak 7 languages, but I don't speak 44. With Copilot Plus PCs, we're aiming to break down language barriers. So regardless of what kind of work um, infrastructure you have, whether you're working across different teams globally, you can actually now have live translation in meetings and also in pre-recorded video as well. And we're going to have more languages down the line, of course. So that way, no matter who's presenting, you can actually go ahead and understand any call, conversation, or recording. So it's basically like having superpowers. Now, with regards to superpowers, I've always wished for having them, but did you know that you already do have superpowers with Copilot Plus PC? So let's go ahead and explore this more. So for example, nowadays, it's really great that we can actually read our notes and look like we're making eye contact in the meeting. The other thing is it really focuses on our voice if we're having distractions in our background, and also it automatically blurs our background. So, and on top of that, we do have some creative filters applied from Copilot if we would like those. And this is what we're talking about for the portrait light settings. Okay. Well, with unique AI experiences that are powered by Copilot, we can now go ahead and also unlock productivity in individuals. Oh, someone's asked, great question, actually. Let's go ahead and take a quick pause over there. Is the video and audio based on translation or captions? It's based on automatic. So how it works is it automatically detects the words as they're said and it translates them in real time. And it gives the captions. Yeah, it does provide real-time captions. Now, of course, if you do need the audio version of that, well, I can look back into that. I'd have to circle back for that one. All right, let's see if there's any other questions before we move forward. I'm gonna just quickly take a pause and grab a sip of my tea. Just recovered from a really bad flu, guys, so sorry about that. All right. Okay, so let's move forward. With superpowers that unlock our productivity in Copilot plus PC, you can unlock the productivity in your individuals across your organization or whether you're just using it yourself. We're also going to be looking at a new announcement, something called the Copilot Key, and other new features that allow you to uncover these new opportunities, solve for problems, and also create more compelling content on the go. And every PC is a Copilot PC by default, as we know. So currently, let's just say we can actually all open up Copilot in Microsoft Bing and use it right off the bat. But not every PC is a Copilot Plus PC because remember, those Copilot Plus PCs have that neural processing unit chip that give you those unprecedented speeds and allow you to use Copilot natively on your device, even if it's offline. So that's one good benefit of these PCs. So we have the first change to the keyboard in 30 years, and it's called the Copilot key. It's replaced the on the right side of your keyboard between your function and control button, also known as the menu key. That's what it has replaced. And let's be real, I've never used to use that key, but I know some people have. But the Copilot key is pretty good. What it allows you to do is with a single click of a button, similar to the Windows key, it allows you to jump into Copilot and start prompting your questions. So now with at your fingertips, let's say you're in a meeting and you just need to bring up Copilot. With one keyboard click, you can do that. And let's say if I wanted to go ahead and find a document while my boss is asking me for that, I can just ask Copilot to say, find that document with the pie chart that I read 3 weeks ago, and it'll give me the recommendations of all those documents that had pie charts. Along with that, I can also allow it to, let's say I have to make a table and I'm in back-to-back meetings. I don't have time, let's say if I'm working 8 to 9, to go ahead and sit there making a table that's going to take me 30 minutes to make. With the help of Copilot, I can ask it to summarize a demographic report and make a table with 3 or 4 pros and cons on both sides within seconds, which is amazing because then I can, focus on my meetings and get my work done simultaneously. But not only that, it allows me to also create presentations and reports with just a few words. Now, one thing is I will recommend the more specific you are with Copilot, whether you're using it on a Copilot Plus PC or just in Bing search, the better your prompt responses will be. So the more detail you give, give you that much of a better response. So let's say we've talked about providing us an executive slide with a table of pros and cons for our brand template with the product that we've also been discussing within Microsoft 365. How Copilot works in the backend is it looks at Microsoft Graph, which contains everything in terms of what we have on our teams and if we are using it coupled with Microsoft 365 when we are prompting it in PowerPoint, that's how it would work. It would pull the data from the documents and allow us to make this slide. So I really like that. It really will allow me to work a lot faster when I have a lot of back-to-back meetings. Were there any questions on this? Oh, is the NPU only available on new design PCs? Yes, that's correct. So any PC that's a Copilot Plus PC will have that NPU built into it. Great question. All right. Sorry, I have another video for everyone, but this actually showcases what I've been talking about with a visual demonstration, so I hope everyone enjoys it.
Marcella has an idea to transform her business. And with her Windows 11 Copilot Plus PC, she's ready to turn that idea into action. It all starts here. Recall remembers almost everything seen on Marcella's PC. In a personalized timeline, she can scroll or search to find exactly what she needs. And Recall provides her with privacy controls over what it can save. Her PC's neural processing unit's blistering fast performance powers unmatched AI capabilities, like live captions that can translate 40-plus languages into English in real time, enhancing Marcella's communication with her teams around the world. And creating impactful summaries and striking images is faster than ever. So Marcella's team can craft presentations that go farther. When it's time for the big investor call, exclusive AI-powered Windows Studio effects like portrait light and eye contact give Marcella the professional polish she needs to shine. Unlike Unlock your team's superpowers with Windows 11 Copilot Plus PCs. A new AI era begins at work with the fastest, most intelligent Windows PCs ever.
So that's the Copilot Plus PC breakdown of how we can do our work faster. But I saw a great question in the chat about I thought recall was being recalled. So currently it is available in the Windows Insider program, but you can have it. We're having some based on feedback from customers, we're making some modifications to re-release it publicly. So stay tuned for that. Great question. So with the Copilot Plus PCs, we can actually stay focused and save our time. And who doesn't want to save time, right? Time is the most valuable asset we all have. I know mine, with every single minute I save, I really value that and look into that. So let's take a quick pause and think about how much time would we save if Copilot, let's just say, was saving us 2 hours a day on average with the Copilot Plus PC in terms of allowing us to deliver better presentations faster, generate content, take our meeting notes for us, and keep track of everything we have. So imagine how much time we'd save in a week and how much time that would add up over a whole quarter. And now multiply this by all the employees in your organization and think about how much time you'd be saving collectively as a whole. That actually frees up the time to do more things, right? So, from a perspective of an IT decision maker, this is really, really valuable too. But coming back to an individual basis, I think for myself, I'm happy that Copilot's going to be there to help me focus on what matters in terms of my content. And also, delegating tasks to Copilot can save myself time and allow me to focus on what matters. So rather than having to multitask between everything, if I'm letting Copilot take my meeting notes, then I can actually pay attention to the meeting and maybe understand the bigger picture, for example. So everyone in the meeting can actually focus on the content, not just yourself. We all have that one person who's assigned as a note taker by default, and they often have to go back and say, okay, wait, what did I miss out on? And then you can also prompt Copilot for support in meetings in general, whether it's to create an email as a follow-up or set up another follow-up meeting after that with the same attendees and send thank yous and recaps. So you can use the assistants for all of these things. So for example, here, you can send it a prompt into Copilot saying, create a Teams meeting invite for March 25th attendees titled this, the expansion plan follow-up, for example. I used to work in event production, so personally, that'd be really great because I'd have to set up multiple rehearsals for events, and thinking about that and how long it would take to actually just set up the event, it would take about 15 minutes. So having Copilot's help, of course, it's going to give the template, and then you would have the final approval of saying, okay, hit send to the invite, but it just works hand in hand with you to save time. So something that would normally take you 15 minutes is now taking you about 5 minutes. Okay, and the other thing I want to talk about is driving employee innovation. Now, coming back to the topic of saving time, once you free up mundane employees from doing mundane tasks, it actually fosters a culture of growth and innovation. So you also get to see a boost in productivity in your employees, and it allows your team to uncover new opportunities and solve problems a lot faster. Not only this, because we're creating more compelling content in a fraction of the time, we can then go ahead and inspire our mission critical employees to do their best work from anywhere and be able to face the challenges of work and deliver exceptional results within a fraction of the time. So we can accelerate projects such as whether it's new project development or even expanding our geographical presence. We can focus on all of this instead. We can also go ahead and delve into new customer segments as well, drive more social impact, and allow our customers to be happier because which customer wouldn't be happier if we're delivering results a lot faster, right? So it allows us to gain a competitive edge in the market. In fact, over 80% of organizations across the globe believe that AI will give them a competitive advantage. So that is something to note down. Now let's talk more about recall. It has come up already in the meeting a few times, but how does it work? Well, the recall feature is designed to learn about the ways you work and support you in them. So think of it as like your personal assistant sitting over your shoulder where you can delegate it. It's looking at what you're doing and it's aware of everything. So if you need to ask it something, it will give you the answer back for it. So with recall, you can revisit anything you've done on your PC. You could just describe something, and it'll retrieve that from the moment you looked at it. So it does save about 5 hours per week. It intelligently understands your activities all across your apps, whether it's in your email, in your Teams, SharePoint, etc. And it does give you recommendations on how you even use your individual device. So it does bring out those recommendations right when you need it. And it does run securely on your device as well because it's happening right from the chip of the PC. It does run offline. So there's no transfer of that data, what it's looking at, going back to Microsoft whatsoever. It's only for you and your eyes. And this feature is exclusive to Copilot Plus PCs. So we have looked at all these features, but when we think of AI, we also do tend to think about security. So let's talk about it a bit more. If I'm working with AI, how do I also know that my business data is safe? So we can breathe easy actually, because Copilot Plus PCs have powerful security that is designed for AI built straight into it. First of all, it allows you to lock down your data. So, did you know that most early adopter IT decision makers have the belief that AI would actually introduce security risks into their organization and into their data? So, this is a valid concern, and that is why we've built Copilot Plus PCs to overcome this challenge. Because these PCs are developed to deliver that powerful security designed specifically to run with AI to optimize your environment and AI posture in your organization. But because these NPUs are enabling that AI to run securely from your device, it's running offline. You don't even have to leverage the cloud if you turn off that feature. But of course, I do recommend leveraging to run AI with the cloud if that's what your business needs, right? It really depends from use case to use case. Sometimes for legality purposes, a business is not allowed to use AI on the cloud, so they have to run it offline. And this is the way they can do this. So it allows you to lock down your employee data and safeguard your most sensitive information and respect employee privacy all at the same time. And you can also protect your IP address as well from this because your AI operations are running smoothly on the device. So Microsoft does have that commercial data protection guarantee along with privacy for cloud services. You do have to have a Copilot admin assigned for your organization when you are considering all of these policies in mind because that is something else to consider. But again, when you have Copilot Plus PCs running on your computer, and that is allowing you to run your your Copilot functions offline right from your device. This also gives you back full control on your data, so you can rest assured knowing that no one at Microsoft can see your AI data and nothing is used to train those large language models. And this also applies, by the way, to Copilot for M365 if you're running that from the cloud. I just wanted to make that clear because we do have that guarantee as well. When you are using Copilot for Microsoft 365, whether you're leveraging it to make a PowerPoint or Word, it runs hand in hand with the Copilot Plus PC chips, but it does leverage the cloud. But when you're signed in with your organization Entra ID, previously known as Azure Active Directory, this does allow you to have that security. Rest assured that Microsoft can't see what you're putting in. It's just that user has the prompt going straight to that, straight within their own tenant, and that's where the data stays, and it's not saved. All right, so with Copilot Plus PCs, you do get to attain the highest level of Windows security by default, and you get to guard against evolving threats to protect your data. This happens by a multiple. I'm just gonna take a sip of tea. I apologize. Genevieve, was there anything you wanted to add on security in the meantime?
No, like obviously it's just and it speaks also to what you said also about recall and the level of security. So we've taken that feedback very seriously and whatever like Microsoft is a security first company. So whatever is out there regarding cybersecurity, security in all its nature, rest assured that we got you. So we hear you and we got everyone. So security will and this is Windows 11 being the most secure Windows ever. Also is something we don't negotiate on if you wish. So
Absolutely. I love it. Thank you. So the other thing is we have something called Microsoft Pluton. It's our security processor that again is built right into the NPU. This allows you to have secured core PC protection right from the chip all the way up to your software. It has those guardrails in place. Think of an analogy of driving a car on a highway without those guardrails at the side. We don't want to, we want to keep our car on the highway and not have to, fly off, right? So allows you to have the ability to use AI safely and ensure those guardrails are in place. The NPU does allow you to work securely with that high performance capability, and it does protect you from chip to cloud. And not only that, having that battery life that I keep talking about is super important. Normally, before you would need a supercomputer to run AI, I know that we've all seen how those look like. They're huge. You need entire, like it's the size of a house, right? But now you can run AI processes locally, instantaneously, right from your device. And this chip is really, really small. We're going to get Qualcomm to talk about it. I don't want to steal their thunder, but I'm just so excited about how these work because they're saving you battery life. They're optimized for efficiency and giving you that 20 hours of battery life while running at a speed of 40 tops is is amazing. So when you're traveling for business, you have the ability to be connected to AI and work securely, all while you're offline too. But let's say you need to summarize some material from a document you were looking at. You can also do that as well. For that, you do need the cloud to run with it. You do need an internet connection when you're talking about using Copilot in your Microsoft Word documents or PowerPoint or Excel. But let's say when you don't need an internet connection, is let's say you just want to create a prompt and say, hey, what was the document I was looking at earlier? It can pull that up, for example, if it's saved locally on your computer. And in essence, overall, you don't need the internet connection, but having it would help you a lot more too. And the processing is done regardless, securely on the device, so you can get more done while you're unplugged. But now let's go ahead and take a look at how Copilot Plus PCs can make your businesses future ready. And I agree, Dallas. There's so many use cases for Copilot, and it saves so much time. So with Copilot Plus PCs, you get to be ahead of the curve, and advanced features allow you to translate features such as it allows you to translate your performance and streamline your tasks, as well as optimize your workflows. So overall, this leads to better efficiency in your workplace. Along with that, the blazing AI speeds that we're being provided by the NPUs allow you to accelerate your innovation in your team and allow you to respond to business needs with speed and agility. With all these benefits, you can actually scale your business to new heights with the world's most fastest and most intelligent PC. Now, who doesn't want to optimize their IT department and environment? So with the comprehensive data protection that's built into Copilot Plus PCs, it'll actually allow you to easily remotely manage these devices as well. Of course, that would, so when you're managing devices, that happens through Microsoft Intune, but your IT team can save a lot of time. And this also reduces help desk calls because those NPUs are built into the device. They're working day and night to make sure that you're running securely at all times. And this actually drops the incidence of security incidents by 58% in Windows 11 Pro devices. And also, it allows you to foster more productivity. So that's awesome. Were there any questions on the security stance and posture of Copilot Plus PCs? Because I think it's great that, when I'm using my device and I'm using AI on it, I can rest assured that I'm running in a secure infrastructure.
Hey, Sakina, Shoaib here. I have a quick question for Copilot and Plus PC with security, with regards to security.
Mhm.
So we know we can use Purview to kind of navigate Copilot's search based on sensitivity labels and security policies that are put in place.
That's correct.
Would Copilot Plus PC also inherit those security policies
does.
through Microsoft Purview? Okay.
It does. So how it works is a great question. So it works through Microsoft Graph. Microsoft Graph respects all of the policies in place for it. It pairs up with Copilot, right? So, and that's also boiled down to the Copilot Plus PC when you're using it in terms of permissions. So let's just step back. I'm going to first explain how Microsoft Graph works. It integrates all across your Microsoft 365 environment, what it also does, it looks at your emails, stuff in your SharePoint and Teams, all that data. That's all secured by Microsoft's commercial data protection. Now, any policies that you have configured in Azure Purview, along with, let's say, in Intune as well, these all integrate all across the board because it's all connected to Microsoft Graph on the back end. And yes, Intune can manage Copilot plus PC devices as well. So that is another feature. So through the Copilot Admin Center as well, you can manage specific policies because whatever data loss protection policies, also known as DLPs, set up in your organization, those are respected by Copilot basically.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. And
yeah, it respects it for user to user as well.
awesome. Thank you.
My pleasure.
And one more question I had was around licensing. So of course, there's Copilot licensing for Microsoft 365. So how is that different from the Copilot plus PC?
For sure. So when you're using Microsoft integrated in the 365 apps, that is a separate license. But by default, Microsoft Copilot is built into Windows 11 Pro. So what that allows you to do is it allows you to create prompts, but it does not integrate into the Microsoft 365 app. So I can search from Microsoft's Copilot to say, okay, I need to create a summarized, summarize how global warming is working right now. And for example, as a sample prompt, or create an image of a turtle with a background of a sea. I wish I could think of a business use case for creating an image, but I can think of create a marketing poster with and create a description of that, and it would actually be able to spin up an image for that. But with Microsoft 365, Copilot for Microsoft 365, it works a bit differently. It works within the Microsoft environment of Teams, Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and that's just an additional license. But when you have a Copilot Plus PC with that license paired, you can use them both to optimally generate PowerPoints much faster, for example. But you do need both of those to use it in Microsoft Word and PowerPoint, just to clarify.
Got it. Okay. And I'm assuming like if I do search for something on Copilot plus PC, it would go through my hard drive as well to find anything, or my NAS drives, or if the PC is actually domain joined, would it also search through like a file server?
It does, yes, it can. So if you have
Okay.
so for whatever's saved on your device locally, especially if you're using it offline, that's when it would leverage whatever's stored on your device. But the second you're prompting it to look through anything in Microsoft 365, it does pair up with the cloud, but it still gives, because the NPU is working really fast and hard in the background, it's going to be giving you that presentation spun up rather than within minutes, within seconds, for
Much
example.
faster.
Mhm.
Got it. Okay, so it's much faster times and reduced times in terms of prompting and getting an output from it.
Right, exactly. We can even feel free to test it out. And if you use Copilot in Bing right now to generate an image, you can say generate an image of a penguin in San Francisco. It'll give you 4 options too, but it'll take a minute to spin up that image. If you're using that natively from your own device from a Copilot Plus PC, that would take seconds as an example. But I don't want to derail too much, but the point I wanted to hit home here is just how much faster it is compared to just using it on the cloud.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Yeah. Are there any other questions? Can it interact with locally installed apps? Yes, it can. So yeah, Copilot currently even, for example, integrates with AutoCAD, right? Whether you're an engineer and if that's the function you use it for, it can integrate with that app, for example. But it doesn't integrate with other apps that are native to your computer, provided that it has that integration feature enabled. All right. So I think we've come to the end of everything I wanted to talk about, but I'm going to just go ahead and wrap it up. So it is time now to get ahead of your competition. And you can do this by two ways. First of all, by your people. So in today's AI-driven climate, technology and on-the-job tools will play an enormous role in how we have employee satisfaction and retention. We all want to keep our employees, the ones that are hardworking, and allow them to continue delivering great results. So over 80% over 80% of employees are welcoming AI currently in their day-to-day lives to find the right answers and information, and it's important to meet their satisfaction. A lot of the times, we did a survey of like, would you rather get a free lunch once a week or have Copilot? People chose having Copilot. Now imagine what they would say when we're talking about having Copilot plus PCs with these NPU chips from Qualcomm. It's awesome. And the other thing is, your organization. So all industry leaders across the board want to be able to be forward thinking, embrace new technologies, and change the way their organization works so that they can be competitive. So Copilot Plus PCs do bring this whole era of secure AI and allow you to unlock your hidden potential. And it allows you to enable the high power users in your organization to scale a lot faster, whether it's content creators, sales team managers, representatives, analysts, even early adopter executives to leap beyond whatever they can currently accomplish. So it is important to remember as a recap that every PC is a Copilot PC, but every PC is not a Copilot Plus PC. You have to have those NPU chips with that 40 plus TOPS to be considered a Copilot Plus PC. So we're going to go ahead and hand it off to Qualcomm now to talk more about this because I've gone ahead and talked a lot about the technical features, but I know that Cody's going to do a lot more justice to it. So thanks so much for your time, Cody, and I'm going to hand it over to you. I'm going to stop sharing. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you. That was great. I always like listening to you guys present on this new technology. So hi, everyone. My name's Cody Carter. I work for Qualcomm. I'm the CDW Global Account Manager. So that's why I was chosen to join today. And really what I want to do is just piggyback off of what she was presenting on today and really show you how we're approaching this new way to work. And I know, there's a lot in the industry about AI. I'm sure it comes up in all your meetings and conversations on a daily basis. And today I just want to take 10 minutes to explain how Qualcomm earned a seat at the table in the PC market as we essentially change the trajectory of where the PC is going. So first, a little bit about Qualcomm and the Snapdragon brand is what I want to jump into first. So if you're familiar with Qualcomm, I'd actually be interested just in the chat if you want to take a minute and just if you've heard of Snapdragon, let me know where you've heard of Snapdragon from. But I'd like to give you a little bit of backstory on Qualcomm. We've been around for 35 years, right? And we've been the world's leading wireless technology inventor. We have hundreds of thousands of technology patents, and we're the force in development and the launch and expansion. We're behind 5G that keeps us connected on a daily basis. And so, from that experience, we perfected the processing of the smartphone. Yeah, see, everyone, all my Samsung users know what Snapdragon is and how great that experience is used to use the Samsung cell phone. And our technology is in every cell phone essentially. So if you've got an iPhone, it's got a Qualcomm modem in it. So we've now grown well and beyond the mobile handset business to encompass different levels and verticals of products. So whether that's automotive or gaming, now compute, you're going to find Snapdragon branded technologies making a difference, for everyone out there. And, through these innovations, Qualcomm and our family of Snapdragon platforms have, enabled cloud to edge convergence. We've transformed industries. We're accelerating the digital economy and revolutionizing how we experience the world for the greater good. So that's the backstory on Qualcomm and the Snapdragon brand. And because we come from the smartphone space, we understand how important battery life is for compute and how precious that is. And our design philosophy coupled with our legacy from mobile enables the next generation of smart PCs. Hence why Copilot Plus PCs are only available through the Snapdragon X series platform right now. And so we're really defining the most powerful way we work. And we're doing it, through 4 different ways. One's the game-changing performance that you heard about today, as well as the efficiency. And I'll share a little bit later how we do that. But essentially, better performance than an M3 or an i9 at 70% less the power. So when you think about the pain points you have on a daily basis as IT decision makers, we're solving that battery life piece. I can fly from San Diego. I'm based at the Qualcomm headquarters in San Diego. I can fly to Toronto to the CDW office, building PowerPoints, listening to a presentation in the background, using Copilot within my PowerPoint, all while my device is unplugged, and I land and I still have 60% battery life. So the days are over where we move from meeting room to meeting room, or we travel and search for an outlet. Your device legitimately lasts all day. We're talking about, all day battery life versus how many hours do you get. And I think it was hammered home today, but we're really built for AI potential, right? Across our CPU, our GPU, and then the NPU, which you heard a lot about today. That's the critical component for AI experiences and how we achieve that all-day battery life while maximizing performance. And the piece that's going to resonate with you is the simplified IT management. I like the question about Intune. That's actually a great way to deploy and manage the devices. And then the enhanced security and privacy, because everything's running on device. We have an enhanced security and privacy along with the Microsoft Pluton. And so I think it's clear with you guys now, why Qualcomm and Microsoft have jointly gone together to launch these next generation AI PCs with Copilot Plus. And on May 20th, with Microsoft, I think those of you that have been paying attention closely to this, you'll see our assortment of products that were launched on May 20th. These are all, just disclaimer, this is across consumer and commercial. But initially in commercial, we're launching with the Lenovo ThinkPad T14s, obviously the Microsoft the Surface and the Surface Pro, and then the HP EliteBook Ultra, and then the Dell Latitudes, the 7455, and then the XPS 13, and then later this year we'll have devices in our X Plus line. So I just wanted to highlight that as it comes up. We know we're a new silicone player in the PC market, but this is us putting our stake in the ground that we're here to stay, and we've come into the compute industry with the same approach that we did in mobile and RF and 5G, and what we did in the automotive industry. Our Snapdragon chip powers the majority of automotive infotainment systems and leverages our chipset to power electric vehicles, right? So just wanted to show this, as you guys are thinking about your PC portfolio. And then, just a few quotes from key players, and what we're really trying to do in the industry, and what trusted people within technology are acknowledging about how Microsoft and Qualcomm are going together to create this Copilot Plus PC, and really we're here to stay. And so I think it's very telling, the investment that Microsoft and Qualcomm have gone together. And so let's dig in a little bit deeper as you think about the IT decisions that you're making, and how in the world do we do this. And we had to base it off some industry trends and what we've been hearing over the last couple of years across what x86 architecture isn't going to be able to keep up with the demands of all of these AI applications, these AI experiences being loaded into the common enterprise applications that we're doing. And because there's no dedicated NPU in the x86 architecture right now, what's happening is the machines are maxing out in performance and draining battery life very quickly. And so, in some research that we conducted with 2,000 IT decision makers, because what we heard is because x86 architecture can't keep up with the demands, the business decision makers are already switching from Windows to Apple, due to the perception of high quality, longer lasting battery life and better performance. And now with this Copilot Plus PC, we're able to change that. So let's dive a little bit deeper into and why that happens. And it's really around our system on a chip architecture. So we've taken the x86 motherboard that is your standard, has your CPU and GPU. We've boiled that down because of our mobile expertise. We've taken it and boiled it down to a system on a chip architecture where we have the CPU, the GPU, and now this NPU running at 45 trillions of operations per second. We're now consolidating that down into a chip that's the size of a postage stamp, or fits in between your index finger and your thumb. And that's what is allowing us to get the all-day battery life while running the AI experiences that we're all looking for. So, what you're seeing in x86 running AI is you're able to run, one application because it's all being filtered through the CPU and GPU versus an AI PC is leveraging the NPU. So what happens is, on the graphic on the left showing the CPU, GPU, and NPU. The NPU is that dedicated AI hub for Microsoft Teams and the studio effects, the noise suppression background, and the background blur. And we're doing all that. We're matching our competitors' peak PC performance at 68% less power. So again, it's really the battery life story. That's the problem. That's the main problem that we're solving for IT decision makers. We know we've heard it a lot that users that are traveling a lot, moving from meeting room to meeting room, really need that battery life, and in some instances will last multiple days off a single charge. And so, we're matching that competitor peak performance at 68% less power, and that's on an i7. And then, we're also matching competitor GPU performance at 74% less power compared to an i7. And it's really done, the Copilot Plus PC, it's done because of our dedicated NPU, and that's running at 45 trillions of operations per second. And that's, 40 is the benchmark that Microsoft has set for these Copilot Plus PCs. And our system on a chip is able to do that. And anything else out there with an NPU is, we're 4.5 times faster than our competitors. How are we doing this with our app ecosystem? And I think this is important. This is an important piece to cover for IT decision makers. It's really, we're doing it through native apps, working closely with the most widely used applications in enterprise that are running native. I think we're up to almost 300 total, and approaching 90% of the most widely used applications are running native. And that's through the architecture that we're using. Those of you that have Apple in your environment know that those applications are important. They run on Rosetta 2, and Microsoft has developed a very good emulation layer working closely with Qualcomm called Prism, where if they're not native, the x86 apps are running faster in emulation on our platform. So I know that the application piece comes up a lot with IT decision makers like yourselves. And so I just wanted to point that out, that we're very closely aligned with Microsoft on the application piece. We've got over 900, sorry, I clicked over a little too quick. 900 applications validated on our X Elite platform. And that emulation layer is pretty impressive across all of these applications that are used widely. And then just flashing through on these market leading native IT applications that are important. And then across these Windows apps, we have a website, qualcomm.com/Windows apps, that I can drop into the chat real quick when I finish, where you can dive a little bit deeper. And there's some third-party groups that are keeping track of all of this for us. It's not something that we're actively involved in, but there's a third-party source that's keeping track of how important all these applications are. And so the last thing, just the key takeaways is, we're custom built. AI is changing everyday computing with productivity benefits, as you heard today. And we have the highest tops possible for the best power and efficiency. And our X Elite's the most powerful, intelligent, and power efficient processor in its class ever created for Windows. And it's really how the PC is going to become on top again. And then X Elite can deliver essential generative AI experiences by heightened user privacy and all-day battery life for workers today and tomorrow. So we're really, these devices are future-proofing your environment for all of the AI experiences that are going to be coming. And just to wrap up, I just want to leave you with one thing. This is a quote from our CEO, Cristiano Amon, and I touched on this, but we went from mobile RF front end, came the number one, did the same thing in Wi-Fi. Automotive, it was something we had an ambition to do as Qualcomm diversified our business, and we're quickly becoming the partner of choice in automotive. And with PCs, we're building the leading platform, and we have a lot of momentum with Microsoft. So thank you to the Microsoft team, Dallas and Sakina, for letting me join today and represent Qualcomm.
Thank you, Cody. Thanks so much for your time. We really appreciate it. We learned so much from you. So
Yeah.
over to Dallas. I'm
Okay.
just going to share my screen again.
All right. We are going a little bit over time. There's a couple things I'm going to be covering. I'm going to borrow a few minutes from you, but if you need to jump, go ahead and jump. But no, we are going to pop in a QR code and a link, and we would love your feedback. So if you can hold on for a moment while we pop the QR code and the link into the chat, I am going to use a few more moments just to cover a couple things here and do a bit of housekeeping. So these devices are Windows 11 devices. There's no option except for Windows 11 if you're looking at these Copilot Plus PCs. So if you actually have other devices in your inventory that are not Windows 11, they're going to work better with other Windows 11 devices. So on that, I do want to let you know that CDW and Microsoft are actually partnered with a Windows 11 POC. So we can help to take that experience for the rest of your inventory over to Windows 11. We can help with that. Now, if you want to actually have more of that conversation, or more of any of the conversations that we've actually teased out or talked about here, please reach out to your account team and ask them to bring in one of the Microsoft ambassadors to host that conversation. And we want to get you the information that you need to make a wise choice or wise choices. Now, I also want to thank everyone for attending this. This is a really exciting event for me. This is a wow moment for me. But I do want to take some time to thank Sakina and Cody and the team behind the scenes. We are so fortunate to have them here today to give us our best first introduction to these Copilot Plus PCs. So that was my time. I'll wrap up on that. If there are questions, pop them into the chat, or if you're comfortable coming off mic, if you do have any questions and you have the time, please come off mic, or please pop anything into the chat space. But if you need to go, I also want to thank you for joining us for this first introduction. Thank you.
Thank you, Dallas. Thanks, everyone. So it's an open floor. Feel free to ask your questions, whether it's in the chat. And I see that Genevieve just put the QR code, so feel free to scan that in from your phones or save it and then scan it. And also do fill out our survey. Let us know. We really, really do value your participation, so let us know what you thought.
And I just want to add one thing. It's not very often that we actually have a Microsoft trainer here or Qualcomm on a call with us. So please light up that chat space. If you're comfortable, please come off mic and get any answers that you need based on what we saw today.
So looks like there's no questions. So I'm just going to end it off here. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.